I get a lot of people asking me how we were blessed to walk away from corporate America in our early 30s. Well, listen, I don't want to keep that a secret. I want to share it with the world. And so maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're trying to figure out, how do I even get started on my journey of entrepreneurship and getting to a level of freedom? Well, text the word freedom to 737 777 9909. Enter your information in, and we look forward to sharing some information with you. A proven system with small overhead, right? That you can do part-time, spare time, right from the comfort of your home, and have amazing mentors, coaches, and a community of entrepreneurs who are willing to support you and help you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 117. And today we're talking about amplifying who you already are. And the reason why we're going to talk about that is because, a lot of times people have, we're brought up with these views of money, and money is neither good or bad. It's really just a matter of whose hands it's in, right? Money doesn't make somebody bad, and money doesn't make somebody good, right? But it will amplify who you already are. And so let me just put a thought out there for you. So I have watched this movie, and it just got me thinking. And so let me just, let's just pretend that you had $45 billion. Um, what would you do with that money? That's a lot of money, right? What would you do with it? And I'm not going to spend the whole episode telling you what I would do with it, but I will say that there are a lot of initiatives that I would want to put in place to to eradicate poverty. Now, don't get me wrong. I know you'll never fully get rid of poverty. Even Jesus said, "The poor you will always have," right? So you'll never completely demolish poverty, right? However, I do think that there could be some very unique programs put in place to really enhance a community, uh, not just a community, but several communities, like communities that could really like make a difference, right? Where everyone wins, right? Like you have business owners who are able to earn, but you're able to pour back and make a way for the person who doesn't have to not just be given money to them, but have systems in place to get them in a different place, right? To get them from point A to B. People who are oftentimes overlooked, right? We can find this different. We can create different structures and initiatives to make sure that their lives are changed, not just putting a band-aid on it by handing them some money. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you just got to do that, right? But there are other times where you can go in and completely turn around someone's life. And that's really what I would want to do. Just part of what I would want to do. So there's a lot of things that I would love to do. But the thing is, I know what I would want to do, and I know um I know the motive and the heart for the things that I want to do. You know what I mean? So my point is, like, man, just imagine if you had $45 billion. What kind of things would you like to do? I mean, don't get me wrong, you're gonna take care of your family, you're gonna travel, you're gonna do nice things and get nice things, and all that's good. But when all that dust settles and you've done a lot of living and a lot of good things for yourself and your family, what are you going to do next? Right? That's the part that we want to start thinking about, is what next, right? Because um until we start to think that way now, we'll never even attract that into our lifestyle, right? So like, for instance, there's a saying that says something to the effect of, if you're not going to give when you on a small level, then you definitely won't give on a high level, right? Like, for instance, Some people are like, oh, well, if I had more, I would give more. No, not necessarily, because if you're not giving now, then you may not necessarily be expressing the heart to give, because giving now means that, like, and I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna just go through different ways that I give, because I'm not here to toot my own horn or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, like, give on the level that you can give on, right? And then keep increasing that. And now you make it where you are um able to attract more resources. There's this game called the money game. And this game is meant to, like, enhance your, basically put yourself in a position where you can, like, think wealth, because most times we don't think, like, we say things like, oh, I can't afford it, or um money don't grow on trees, and we just say these different things, and we say it so much that our subconscious believes it, and that our subconscious takes it as fact, and then our subconscious is going to continue to play over and over and over what we say, right? And so that's why we talk a lot on this podcast about affirmation, changing our mind, and things like that. So the way the money game works is there's a couple different ways you could play it, but the way that I learned it, if I'm saying it right, is you could start with 10,000, or you could start with 100,000, whatever you want to go, wherever you want to go. But you have to have $100,000, and you got to spend it down to zero every single day. So let's just say you're making a list, and the balance at the top is 100,000, 10,000, whatever. Um, and it doesn't have 10,000 is probably too small. 100,000 is probably a good place to start. You got $100,000 a day, and you got to spend all of it today, because you're going to get another 100,000 tomorrow, and then the next day, and then the next day. Every single day, you got 100 grand coming to you. How are you going to spend that 100 grand a day, right? And it actually starts to get fun, because now, as you're thinking about it, you're like, you're starting to feel the feelings as if you already had it. And that's why the money game is so fun, because it's kind of like law of attraction, or in other words, what I like to call faith, right? Like you're putting your faith to work, because you're imagining what you would do if you already had the money. And I tell you, playing games like that are fun, but it also can expose where your heart is, right? So you can see, okay, what is it that I would do, right? And then you can kind of see what adjustments need to be made. So again, back to the title, it only amplifies who you already are. But play that game. Play that game and see how you like it. It was fun for me. I gotta start doing it again myself. I hadn't played it in a while, but it's meant to open up your dream space, open up your, like, hey, I can afford that. Like, I am worthy of this, right? Like, it's coming to me. You almost assume that you already have it, because you just kind of get into that vein, and what happens is the subconscious starts to say, oh, you know what, we do have 100 grand, we can go ahead and pay this person's mortgage off, or we can go ahead and build a community center over here, we can go ahead and build this center for the elderly, or whatever it is, the types of things that you want to do. Like, man, how awesome would it be to think that way first, and then start to attract it right into your life, because you thought it. Because you thought it, and you manifested it. That's the word I was looking for. You manifested it into reality. So anyway, I hope you guys get some value from this episode. But I just had that thought, because sometimes people think, oh, when you get money, you just become greedy and evil and all this other stuff, and that's not necessarily true, right? I would venture to say that maybe, just maybe, that person might have already had a lot of evil and greedy tendencies that were masked and hidden. And because they got money, now you're able to actually see it for what it really was, versus it was created because of that money, right? So I believe in humanity. I believe that people are good and they want to do good and they want to do good things for people, right? Don't get me wrong, that's not everybody, right? But I just believe that um, if you have a heart to give and you have a heart to you know be a blessing to people and you have a heart to want impact and change, you know that is true freedom, right? When it's not even about the income anymore, it's about the impact. It's about how many people's lives can I change, even if it doesn't really affect mine necessarily, and it's always going to affect yours really, because you get a chance to be a benefactor of change. You get a chance to be a benefactor of making somebody else's life better. You show up in somebody else's testimony. And how cool is that to show up in somebody's testimony where someone says, "Hey, I was down, I was out, I didn't know what to do, but so and so blessed me and my life has been forever changed. My generations will be forever changed." Like there's no greater compliment than to be able to show up in somebody's testimony that you help them to another level. You help them to get to the other side and things of that nature. So that's what we're talking about today. I hope you guys got some value on this episode 117. Stay tuned. We got some really, really cool episodes coming up. Can't believe October is about to be gone, and we're about to move into literally 2 more months, and we'll be talking about 2022. And we're almost coming to our year anniversary of the podcast as well. So super duper excited, and I hope you guys got some value. Connect with us on our Facebook page. You can go to thewaytofreedom.info. That's thewaytofreedom.info, and we have our Code Freedom Facebook community group. And our goal is to have engagement there and for us to get to know each other better, because we got listeners from all over the world, and I would love to connect with you all. So God bless you all. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all over the top. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.